So you've looked at all the pictures, you've seen all that you needed to see, and now you have decided that you want Sisterlocks. Welcome. Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by my channel. If you are new here, my name is Amber Denise, and if you are subscribed, then welcome back. So now that you've decided that you want a Sisterlocks, now what? What is there to think about? What should you look into? Where do you even begin to even try to get this hairstyle that you've seen so many places and all over Facebook and social media and Pinterest? So yeah, what's next? Well, here are my top 5 tips for you once you have decided that this lock style is for you, okay? And depending on how you do these tips, or if you do these tips, you may honestly decide that it's not for you once you finish doing what you need to do, okay? So the first thing I'm gonna advise you do, of course, once you decide you want Sisterlocks, is to find a certified loctician or a trainee that is affiliated with the brand. And I say that because these certified locticians, these brand ambassadors, these trainees actually have to go through trainings, or they are going through training to actually be able to put the grid and all of that different things that they have to go through in your hair. Okay, these are not do-it-yourselfers that just found, you know, some quick Sisterlock thingamajig on YouTube and they are doing your hair. Okay, these are actually people who are affiliated with the brand. So that would be my first tip. Go to the website, and I'll put that in my description below. It is sisterlocks.com. Put your location in, your state, and then it'll be a list of a whole bunch of different like areas in that state and locticians within each area. Now, for me, it was as simple as going on, putting where I was from, looking at my city and seeing who was there. Once I did that, I chose a person who was a brand ambassador. I, went to the social media and things like that, and I liked what I saw. Now, I also would strongly advise you while you're doing that to get a couple of locticians down. So don't just try to find the first one because you're so excited for this style that you just go with the first person. Definitely shop around, definitely get to know different locticians and energies and vibes, because this is a person that you are going to be spending however long with, okay? And this is not even an install thing. I mean, you're going to be with this person every 4 to 6 to 8 weeks of a year, okay? Until you decide to start retying your own hair. So this has to be a person that you vibe with, somebody that you just trust. There are so many ways outside of the Sisterlock website that you can do. There are social media these days. They have Instagram, Facebook. They have so many Sisterlock groups that you all can go into and you can, ask around. Comment sections. If you watch Sisterlock videos, there are tons of comments where you more than likely will find somebody who lives in your area that you could ask, hey, where did you go? That happened in my comments on my last video, where a young lady was like, I live in this area, and, she got her locks. And then another young lady said, oh, I want them too. You live in the same area as me. Where did you go? So it can happen in any way. Either way, I would strongly advise you to make sure that they're certified, make sure that they're with the brand, and check their work out, okay? Tip 2, do not be afraid to ask them questions. Ask them questions. When I say you have to be able to go in this interview, because this is an interview. You're not the only one that's getting interviewed. They are too. So go to them with a list of questions that you may have. There are tons of videos here on YouTube where women, they give out what they think some of the most frequently asked or best Sisterlock questions are. But again, this is your journey from day one. So if you have questions, ask. I went into my loctician very much. I had a whole bunch of YouTube videos under my belt because I just binge watched YouTube videos. I got my hair installed May of 2020. So I had like 4 months or 5 months between my initial consultation, which was in January, to my install. I had a couple of months in between to just binge watch. So I had tons of questions, you know, and my loctician was amazing at answering every last one. So yeah, interview, okay? Interview. This is not a, oh, well, you know, you seem cool, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you do my hair. No. You have to be able to like grill this person, not nasty like, because we want the good energy, but ask them questions. You know, this is your hair, this is your money, this is an investment. Find out if that person is good for you. Tip 2, prepare your hair before you get your locks. And when I say that, however you need to prepare your hair. Now, the day of my installation, my loctician told me to come to her as I was. So she was like, no conditioner, no grease, no products in your hair, okay? Side note, that will hurt. That is going to be a thing where you are going to have to go to your loctician without having any products in your hair, because they're going to give your locks the best foundation. Of course, who wants to start locks when you got tons of product in your hair? Like, that's not, you know, your hair is slippery, the texture is all messed up. Nobody wants to do that. You don't start locks with tons of products, especially not Sisterlocks. Any other type of lock, I can't speak on, but Sisterlock, no. So I had to come to her with no products, but prior to getting my hair locked, I did henna on my hair. Now, I used to henna my natural hair maybe 2-3 times a year, because I didn't necessarily want henna for the dyeing aspect. I liked henna for the health benefits, so like the strengthening and things like that. So I just hennaed my hair maybe 2 or 3 weeks before I got my Sisterlocks, just so I could get that out the way. Because when you get your Sisterlocks for that first year, you are not, unless you are the type that want to experiment, you are not going to be able to do really anything that you are used to doing to your hair. So it's best to go ahead and get it out the way before, and that way it's done. Now, dyeing is one thing that I'm not going to sit here and talk too long about that, because I am not a professional stylist, but I decided not to dye my hair just because I knew that I wouldn't be able to maintain it while it was Sisterlock. So as you know, when you dye your hair, you need to make sure you are moisturizing it. You need to make sure you are just treating it with TLC, conditioners, masks, serum, all this, I want to say serums, but all of this good stuff so that your hair stays healthy and it doesn't break off. Well, with Sisterlocks, because you can't do any of that the first year, your hair is just going to be left bleached, or however you decide to color it, without any proper treatment. And I don't need to say how something like that can turn out. Now, there are women who have colored their hair prior to Sisterlocks, and if you are one of those women, let's chat in my comment section. Did you color your hair before Sisterlocks? And if so, how was the integrity of your hair throughout? Okay, because I'm not saying that it can't be healthy, but I don't see how, considering how much TLC your hair needs after you bleach it. And if it worked out for you, what did you do? What were you able to do to maintain the health and integrity of your hair and your locks? Okay, so that's tip 2, prepare your hair before. Step 3, I want to say, whatever scalp condition that you have prior to getting Sisterlocks, take care of that first, okay? While Sisterlocks is a gorgeous style, it is not a style that really cures anything. You know, it basically is a style that flourishes based off of your hair health and your scalp health. So if you are starting off with a rocky foundation of not having a healthy scalp, I would strongly advise you to consider finding a trichologist, or just going to your dermatologist, or just your general healthcare provider first to try to see what can be done to deal with that. And I also say that going back to my last tip, because you can't really put a lot of stuff in your hair. So if you know you're somebody who has a scalp condition that requires you to put heavy creams and ointments and, you know, wash very frequently, this style, I hate to say it, it might be a waste of your money, because your locks, you know, it might mess with the integrity of your locks, especially that first year. So that would definitely be another tip. If you do have scalp issues, definitely try to handle them before getting Sisterlock. And my last tip, guys, this is a tip for you guys who want Sisterlocks, but it's like, the cost of those things are way too expensive, Amber. I don't even think I'm going to do it. Try to space out your initial install, okay? And I say that because that way you will have time to save up for your hair. Now, a lot of women go into their install and say, okay, my install is March 1st. By March 8th, I want my Sisterlocks that next week or those next 2 weeks. And typically, unless your loctician is booked, that's how it works. But I think it would be worth you asking them, hey, okay, I'm here for my consultation. I like you. I have the money for my consultation. I have a deposit for you. Can I wait until 2 months from now for my install? Just so that'll give you time to save, because you're typically not going to know how much to the T that you have to spend on your hair until the day of consultation anyway. You can save, you can get an estimate, but you're really not going to know how much you have to spend on your hair until you get out that chair. Because your loctician has to examine your hair. She got to fill it out. She got to, is it dense? Is it not? Is it this? Is it that? She has to do that once she gets you in the chair. So you're really not going to know. Now, if you're somebody who's like, okay, I already saved up $2,000. I'm good. It can't be over $2,000, right? Then fine. And if it's not over $2,000, then fine. You book immediately. But if you're somebody who really, really, really wants this style, but you already know that in the coin department right now, dropping that is not going to help, I would definitely still go for it, still get your consultation, but just ask the loctician that you choose if you can space it out. So that way you will still be on that person's books and that person will still have your deposit, because that's another thing, guys. You are going to have to put a deposit down once you choose your loctician. So that is some money that you are going to have to drop that day. But as far as the overall cost of your locks, if your loctician allows it, ask if you can space it out. Don't let that be something to stop you from getting something that you really, really want. Okay? And yeah, that's it. So those are my top 5 tips for those of you who have decided you want Sisterlocks, but it's like, what do I do now? And I hope that these tips can help someone. And as always, you guys have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching.